You're here early. Sometimes it's good to be early. But our show starts at a specific time. You should remember that. Let's get started then, shall we?
Dillon, I don't give a what you think about a co-host and freshen up my show.
It might not be flashy, but sometimes you just got to toss another person to make a statement.
My show's about the people's podcast. Everyone has a voice. I don't need a co-host. Go listen to one of the other 5,000 shows with a co-host because they don't have a mouth like the big guy.
Opie, are you a career killer with Tim Sabian, yourself, and many others?
Be myself. Never had real issues with those people. They just understood that I was a different bird. The rest of them, though, I'm like, oh, shut up. I'm paying your salary because the ratings are so good, so shut up.
Right.
Live from
Somewhere.
it's
Dillon.
Good whatever to you. Whenever you are listening to this, I am your co-host Dillon, and you see our host Cassy Baxter. I'm still getting used to that mirrored view there. And this is my self-tape audition to be the co-host for Cassy Baxter, who talks a lot of sex. Thank you guys so much for joining. We have King of all diffs, Dayla, whose suggestion it was to do this episode. Thanks for dropping in, Commander Cheadle. Cassie, excuse me. I had a girl in high school who spelled it Cassie and pronounced it Casey. So that was a pain getting used to it. All right. 30 minutes for Rochi. Thanks for joining. In the meantime, Mummy Milkers, we do have a lot of sex talk. We will see if Cassy Baxter gets into Mummy Milkers. What do you have to say, Cassie, with your video titled Getting Fucked in the Ass, Dildos, Vibrators, Sexting, Can't Walk Right for a Week, and there's more words there.
Chicago, cheers. So I have literally spent 3 hours carrying laundry back and forth on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing way to spend a Sunday, isn't it? Right. So
you have such a
today is the day of the Lord, so I thought it
was
was appropriate to talk about getting fucked in the ass.
Yes, that's why we're here.
So I've had 2 experiences with this. Neither one of them has been good. So, right.
Did you start out with toys?
I'm going to tell you.
That is the recommendation, is to start out. Oh, she does have some fantastic faces. But start out fucking yourself in the ass with some toys and then work your way up to a wiener.
About the first one. So I was a cocktail waitress and a bartender at the Elbow Room over there in Lincoln Park. The owner was from Ireland, and he had a really good friend who would come in there. And when I left and got another job, we kept in touch. So this guy would like sext me throughout the day, all the time. He'd be like,
and he's an ass man. Just call him Billy Gunn.
Put one hand on 0.
Still looks in incredible shape. And what is he, fucking 60?
And one hand on 8, and imagine that in your mouth. He's like, that's how big my dick is. This would happen like all day long. While I was in class, while I was out on a run, it never fucking ended. This guy was like talking about how amazing his penis was. One day I'm typing a paper and I'm like, you know what? I had it. This guy, he sexted me again. And I was like, that's it. You think your dick is so great? Come over to my house and show me. Come on up.
All right. That's what he's been waiting for this whole time, for you to give him permission. He got hard immediately seeing that.
I'll be willing to stop writing my fucking paper to see this magical cock of yours. So he's like, okay, I'll be right over. Okay. So literally, this guy walks to my house in Lincoln Park. It is like the middle of the day. Mind you.
So he's lost some stamina already. He doesn't have as much stamina as he would if he would have driven there. He is walking over with this big hard cock that he's been putting up on a pedestal for a long time. So what about this cock, Cassie?
This guy's a health fanatic. He hasn't drank like in a decade. So he comes in and he starts talking about how he's so happy he hasn't drank in 10 years. Wah, wah, wah. Like, I hate when people do that. Like, they start rubbing off like their own personal choices and experiences on you. It's like,
He's trying to
that's-
rub off
it's
with
great you don't
you.
drink, but I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? So, also, we don't even know each other, and you're not here to talk about alcohol, right? We're here to talk about your penis.
We'll get to your show plug at the end. Off-topic chats I will address
So he
at the
comes
end.
in and he tries to be romantic and give me a back rub. What are you doing? We both know why you're here, so let's just fuck. So he like lays down on the bed and is trying to like seduce me romantically. I'm like, this is weird. We don't even know each other. No, we don't. So what are you doing? He's like, just
You don't even know each other. He's been talking about his cock an awful lot. What'd she say? She worked with him,
relax.
and he just talked about his
And
cock
mind
a
you,
lot.
he did have a really nice
HR would not like that. Thank goodness it didn't exist in this place.
He actually was honest about that. Yes, he was. But then he was like, just relax. You got any toys? Sure. So I pull out my vibrator. Well, guess what? He shoves my vibrator in my vagina and his dick in my ass. Woo! Didn't see that shit coming. Didn't have tequila. Didn't have a warning. And didn't have lube.
He's a major dick. You always use lube. Well, he obviously doesn't have too much respect for her. Good morning, Dabble Storian. Being accused of being a muttering J mole. But yeah, we will get to your plug with the Joey C show. Little mini plug
Just
there
put it right in there.
later today.
Mind you, I did know one thing about him,
Devil
that he dated a
Storian
virgin
with
before
Joey
me and
C.
took her virginity, and he was into that. And he knew I had never been fucked in the ass. Suspicious. Right. So anyway,
Is she insinuating that he might be a homosexual, that he doesn't like the feel of vaginas, he likes the feel of butts?
this man shoves it in my ass with no warning, mind you. Oh, I was like, ah! And he's like, it's okay.
Mississippi back rub.
It'll be okay. Excuse me, sir. When's the last time you've been fucked in the ass? Right. Never. You've never had an 8-inch fucking cock in your ass. Right. Please don't give me advice in this moment.
And as we've established, 8 inches is the minimum for what you want to look good on film. Below that, you know, it's fine for webcams and fine for those specialty videos. But you see, as someone slightly below, gosh darn it, I can be a webcam star, not a porn star.
Also, you're not supposed to like eat lunch. How the fuck would I know? I didn't know this man was coming over to shove it in my ass. Not a good experience. So I had to go to a Halloween party afterwards. I went in there walking bow-legged, and I couldn't walk right for a week. So I walk into this party and I'm like, sorry guys, I just got fucked in the ass 20 minutes ago. So there's that. The crazy part about this story is that now this man is married to someone who looks 12 years old. Right. I'm like, is that legal? Is she a child? I don't know. But now
it's legal. I think in one state still, maybe. There's some 14s, some 16s, but better that he got someone that looks very young than someone who is actually very young. He has honed his perversions into a healthy relationship with someone who looks young.
Oh, she's pregnant and they're married and they're ready to have their first baby. This man's Facebook post is like a complete different person. He was like, I am so happy I waited to be with my best friend. Watching her and my baby, they're my two favorite people in the universe. That sunset is unreal. I'm like, does your wife know that you go over in the afternoon and fuck random people in the ass? Right. Wonder if the 12-year-old knows that you did this to just like someone you didn't even know. Do you do this to her? Just curious. I doubt it. So, okay. That's my rant for this Sunday.
Clearly, he doesn't respect you, and he respects his daughters and wife.
I was just thinking about that as I opened up his Facebook page and read another.
Oh, she's got his Facebook page right there. That is the face that you do not want looking at your Facebook page. She has taken quite an interest into this man who first opened up her anal orifice.
Quote, post that made me want to vomit. So, oh my God, winds out east with my lovely lady. He might as well post the truth. I like to fuck people in the ass with no lube. Right. So happy Sunday. Stay safe.
So that was part one. She does have a
Atera is the IT painkiller.
Pardon me. Please take it away while I have a drink to clear that out, Cassie. And being fucked in the ass, part two. I think this was a good many months afterwards, but we do not have to wait for the second part of this intriguing story. But it would help if I shared the page, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. There it is. Take it away, Cassie. Part 2.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Cheers.
Oh, you're doing it too.
This right here is Heineken Zero, non-alcoholic beer. I am literally on a 30-day cleanse. Why am I doing this to myself? I keep asking myself this.
Maybe that will be part of the part 2. The way she left it off, glaring at that large man's Facebook page, it does seem that there was a plan developing. She absolutely is a Jim, king of all diffs. This is someone that I would absolutely make a mistake with and then pay for it for years after.
Do I feel better? Absolutely not. Am I sleeping better? I'm actually not sleeping, so it's amazing. I am here because I wanted to
liquids a lot during this. I thought you were going to be ready. You could have taken another 30 seconds. Maybe that's part of the persona. We do have to show we have some wine with this rant. It's a wine and rant.
do a fucking rant literally 2 weeks ago. Then something happened to me. I got dicked down by the Puerto Rican. So he always finds me. See,
it sounds like this is a backstory that more of her videos gets into. The Puerto Rican.
the thing is, I hadn't had sex in 2 months and my vagina was screaming or crying. So I made the call. And he's always like, it'll be quick, Cassie, I promise. It's never.
Luckily, king of all diffs, I also am a typical mental case, just like Cassie is here. So we would get along, but yeah, I think she would hold on for a bit longer, judging by the stalking of the Facebook page, than what I would prefer. Her little pink sock, I haven't heard it referred to such. I have the coffee and the water, but I do not have the wine. This is not one of those podcasts.
Never quick. So he's literally a savage and it lasts for like 13 hours. So, right. I literally had about 110 orgasms.
That's a bunch. And that, fellows, is why you don't whack it for several days in a row so you become animalistic, and then she remembers and she will pick up that 11 p.m., 1 a.m., hey, you up?
But thank you for that. However, I was unproductive for 2 more days. So that's what happened 2 weeks ago. Last week, I was working until 11 o'clock at night, and then I typically try to come home and film a rant while I was carrying 106 pounds of water upstairs last Tuesday. So
that's a workout.
I'm not sure if you guys know this, but those, like, when you have like a delivery service, it's called a delivery service. It's not a moving service. So
she likes to get a little bit of the small talk out of the way before getting into the anal sex talk. And it does last. This one lasted a little more than the other one. When will it be one of those podcasts? I suppose she needs a partner. Maybe she has an account over on Strip Chat. We will check that out if we can see the second part where this degenerates into one of those podcasts.
I can't move the whole fucking grocery store into your apartment. So sorry about that. Please be considerate and don't be a cunt. And if you are going to be a cunt and make me carry literally 5 fucking stacks of water, please tip accordingly. I was exhausted. So that's what happened last week. Then I had an offer for $1,000 to go sit with a couple from Columbus for the weekend and just get to know one another.
Oh, you fell into that trap. You had the couple eyeing you up like a couple of predators saying, yeah, come and hang out with us.
Which is code word for threesome. So, no, thank you. I knew the one guy for several years, like 20 years I've known him. The girl I've never met. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, let's explore each other. Man! For $1,000, I'm going to say no. I'm going to need about $20,000 to $40,000 to leave my
20 to 40. Now that is the highest of high class whores. What do you bring to the table, Cassie? And Dayla has been watching Cassie for months. It looks like her last video was 2 months ago. So hopefully she comes back. She does have some unique content to offer us.
Leave my son, get a babysitter, and go to this whole shit show because I'm sure it's going to be an event. Right. So that happened last week as well. So now it's Wednesday, and here we are, trying to fucking film a rant again, trying to squeeze this in before I go get my son from preschool today. So here we go.
I'm trying to squeeze it in too, once we make it one of those podcasts.
My rant that I've been thinking about for weeks. Have you ever looked at someone's social media and been like, who the fuck is this person? What is this life happening? Why is this a fictitious part of it?
What is it? When she goes cross-eyed with one eye, that she's a boner repellent? I could see that. Or the blatant mental illness.
Them. So, who are they now? Have they literally done a 180 or are they fucking just lying in public to everybody? So the reason I say this is I've seen this time and time again. I'm like, is this the same? This can't be. Oh, it is. There's one person in particular that I'm thinking about. So we'll call this rant anal part 2. As I'm flipping through Facebook, and
okay, you were talking about the Puerto Rican. Ooh, flipping through Facebook. That is her helper, and that is her stalker helper. Like, she had so much trouble before social media being a stalker, but this Facebook takes so many steps out of the way for her.
And he's like, my wife is my life. Look at the sunset. We're on a picnic. Look at my son. He's everything. And I'm like, when did he become part of the Mexican Brady Bunch? So, right. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to understand, who is this person?
King of all diffs gives a thumbs down all around. Voice, face, and her obvious not good body. And she does do the classic Match.com OkCupid photos. These I remember back years ago. Like, oh, you look very pretty. Oh, you are 350 pounds. You really know how to take an angle that don't show off those chins, but wasn't expecting this. Bye.
Because what I remember of him is him coming over to my apartment in the middle of the day and shoving his dick in my ass without warning me. So, right. I'm like, huh, my wife is my life. I'm like, how is this the same fucking person? There's no way. Because I wonder if his wife knows what he does in dark corners on random days to random women. So he's like, my son is everything. My wife is my world. That's wonderful. Do you shove your dick in her ass on your fucking picnics? Probably not.
Well, since she's already talking sexual, the cock off that we were talking about yesterday, bleeding over, Joey said he would do the hog measuring contest. You could win big. Well, I've been quite open with the size of my hog on here, saying it's just below photo ready for porno movies, but just fine for your webcam.
Here's what you really do. She'd probably fucking die. She'd be like, who is this?
Rochi wants me to turn the pink sock brown. If she's strapped, she can turn that brown. Owie. I'm sure she's strapped. She's probably on a mission now. She has got a certain vitriol of this getting fucked in the ass when she didn't want to. So she is now probably strolling. That's part of her regular purse that she carries around is the strap on. She's going to get a guy tonight. The prey becomes the predator.
It just makes me wonder how, like, how many people are just living a fucking lie. You know, they don't tell their secrets. They're just like, this is who I am now. It's like, when did that transpire? Because the person I remember you shoved your dick in my ass with no lube. And you were like, you're fine. You're fine. I'm pretty sure
she didn't give us the tidbit that it was the Puerto Rican the first time. So was it the Puerto Rican the first time?
An 8-inch cock in your ass. So stop telling me that. Let's give it a try. Right. So it's just crazy because I see this and I'm just like, how do you get from point A to here? Like, how does that even?
One of the local comedians, Mickey Cucella, Opie and Anthony actually did a, not a Jocktober, but they talk shit about O&A, and then they totally beat him down. And Mickey's a radio voice, but Mickey had a bit about anal sex, and you're going into someone's house. You're a guest. You knock on the door, you stick your head in, you just don't kick the door down and just throw your arms in running around. And that's what
even happened. The dick shoving fucking person to like now, like, I don't understand how somebody makes that transformation. So If anybody knows, please fill me in, because it's a lie, right? When I look at her, I'm like, there's no way he's done anything remotely close to that with her. I could just see it. So there's like a halo over her head. She's my life.
And to answer that question, Dabble Storian, 10 inches is way good for film. 8 inches and above is good for the porno industry. And once you get below that, you know, it's acceptable for webcams. But the porno industry, they might not look twice at you unless you really got a Pepsi can going there.
My life. It's like, does the angel know she married a devil? So I have a couple other shady friends like this as well, who've like literally... One of them has been married forever, and he'll be like chugging vodka. And you start to see the change, right? You know, here it comes. And then you'll come out of the bathroom and he'll corner you and be like, Cassie, has anybody told you how sexy you are today? And you're like, what's happening? Your wife is sitting right there. Please go talk to her about that. So.
Oh, this appears to be a bit that's going to remain the rest of this video. We're a little over halfway through it. Her whispers are so annoying, says the king of all diffs. And oh boy, she has a bunch of fun faces. Yeah, right there. Kind of looks like she's got a fat body there. She seems to hold it up in a certain way in most cases where it doesn't reveal that she would have an unflattering body.
Right. Every fucking time. Hey, can I tell you something? It's like, you know it's coming. And you're just trying to duck out of it. Like, gotta go. See you guys. Great seeing you. I have another friend who's always like getting on my Snapchat and he's like, show me your tits. He's like, put the towel down just a little bit lower. Why don't you ask your girlfriend if you can see my boobs and then have her call me?
Snapchat really does encourage to show your titties and cock off, doesn't it? Because it has that expiration unless they save it. So it's of an understanding. I sent you this and you don't save it. I send you this and you don't save it unless we say so.
Great. Then he's like, I'm so sorry. No, you're not, because you keep doing it. So you've done it 110 times. I don't randomly text people, show me your cock. I do not do that. It's the strangest thing to me.
But at least the Puerto Rican from the last video talked about it and asked many times before you accepted, and he put it out there. Imagine her in clown makeup. Immediately goes up at least 2 sexiness points. Absolutely. Snapchat is the
what people are willing to do and what they're willing to ask. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Talks.
So speaking of that,
this expires in 24 hours.
I was like taking Snapchat of Ukrainian Village because it was a beautiful thing. There were like flags everywhere and they were supporting Ukraine because of everything that's going on in the world. And can I just say, holy fucking shit. Their president is so sexy and so hot. He's like, I don't need to leave. I need more.
I thought you talked very little about being fucked in the ass in this one. Is that the main event, or is this like a Casey Armstrong stream where he talks about the main point for a couple of minutes and then just surrounds it with other nonsense?
More ammo. He's literally like shooting TikTok, like, and there's like fucking missiles flying, and he's like, I'm standing my ground. I'm fighting. What a sexy motherfucker! Like, holy shit. And then we have our president. So embarrassing at this point. He's like falling. Who falls up the stairs, right? Like I literally.
Weekend at Joey's, I've called it before. He needs 2 aides on him on either side at all times.
Do assessments for dementia for a living. I'm an expert at it. He should have been in a nursing home several years ago. So, right. I'm just saying, who falls up the stairs? Like, maybe give him a little leeway falling down the stairs, but fuck. Who falls up the stairs in the middle of the day? Several times. And then you have like the Ukraine president, like just fucking kicking ass. He's like a motherfucking G.I. Joe. Damn. Like he is a sexy beast because of just like who he is. Shit. Anyway, my whole point to this was like I was filming like some of the emotional posters and stuff on my Snapchat. This 20-year-old kid writes me. He tags it on.
That was a lot of words with saying nothing. And are we going to get back to the anal sex? You kind of only alluded to it for it to be
that picture.
The title.
Stop watching them. Watch my dick and your. And he says your throat. He doesn't spell throat correctly. Thort. What is that? Thort. I'll fucks you. Not fuck. There's an X in there. So I'll fucks you so hard my balls will be slapping yo.
So this guy will do it many times, much like the one she was going back to in the first video, that he will go for 13 hours. He does not fuck. He fucks.
Not fuck. There's an X in there. So I'll fucks you so hard my balls will be slapping yo pussy. There's so many things wrong with this. This is probably the worst message I got of the week, but I've had like 30 messages pretty close to this week. First of all, if you're 20 years old and you're going to write a 40-year-old woman, please learn how to spell. It's not hot, and it literally feels like you're a child.
Oh, you're 40? I was getting the feeling you were like early 30s. Oh boy. There's a wall coming up that you're going to hit soon. Hopefully you get to it in a decade rather than your early 40s, but there's a wall.
Because you are, because you're 20. And you shouldn't be writing a 40-year-old woman anyway. And I've reminded him of this. Please stop writing. You're a kid. Because 20 is a kid. Secondly, all of this pornography is not hot. So women don't like to hear things like this. This does not turn them on. Women like to see that you're stable, you possibly have a house, that you have a job, that you don't treat people like pieces of shit. Right here tells me so much. Stop watching them watch my dick in your throat. I'll fucks you so hard my balls will be slapping your pussy.
And now she is an English major. Please tell us more about the syntax and the structure of this balls slapping your pussy sentence.
These are not words. Please go back, spell check it. I don't care what you have to do, but that was like the worst message of the week. I was like, and then to put it on that picture, I'm like, fuck, what is wrong with people? I mean, we know the world is like falling apart and shit's crazy, but fuck. What is wrong with people? There's so much wrong with people. And I'm trying to raise a man. So
hell of a rant, but very little about the anal sex. I'm glad I started with anal sex part 1 because we actually got some information out of Cassy on that one. Not much information about the anal sex here on this anal sex titled, well, being fucked in the ass, part 2.
So I'm like, dude,
part 1 is where all the details
sent a woman
were
this
at.
message, I will literally, I don't care if he's like 30 years old, I will ground his ass. Like that is just embarrassing. So don't send those messages. Right. Please don't do that. A big thank you to everybody who's been following me on TikTok. It's Cassy Baxter, CASSYBAXTER931. Follow me on social media. Thank you to my 25,000 followers. You guys are awesome. And you're the reason that I've been trying to do these every 2 weeks. So have a good Wednesday.
And that was 2 videos out of Cassy Baxter. This next one I chose, its title, Fucking 2 Comedians Who Were Not Funny. So they did not win her over on being funny. Somehow she still allowed them to, well, let's hear about their physical looks and their penis size. Maybe that made up for them not being funny, Cassy.
Happy Saturday, Chicago. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Look at this. There's Mister. There's Marilyn. My babies. Happy Saturday, guys. Happy Easter weekend. Oh my God, it has been a week, a month, a fucking crazy 10 years for me in this town. So I'm going to start off. If you follow me on Facebook, you probably know I haven't had a toilet for 6 days. How the fuck does that happen? Well, it's Chicago. Nobody cares. So I let my landlord know. He's like, no response, of course.
You might want to go black and white all the time. You looked not bad in that black and white. You've got the full-on raccoon eyes. I'm not so sure your makeup is done very well in this video, Cassy. You are looking much more like a crazy person here in color with those raccoon eyes.
It's okay that Cassy has to piss outside in the grass in a bucket. Who cares? Right. 6 days later, I had a fucking toilet delivered. That happened. My son had like 890 viruses at daycare. Then he had an allergic reaction to his body wash.
Oh no!
It was like
Dayla,
primary care doctor.
You're more familiar with her, so oh boy, there's a child. I did not realize this. I saw you as a single woman with no children. This takes on wow.
Emergency room, primary care, like I'm exhausted. If my eyes are red, it's because I did not sleep last night. I was up at 11, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm so tired. He is with his dad tonight, the 3rd time in 8 or 9 months that I've had a moment.
Yeah, that single mom, I don't think that status is going to change. She seems, I don't know if she's as professionally single as Ari Jane, but maybe permanently single, she kind of seems like some guy. You can get some guy into your web.
To myself. So cheers. Okay, my rant for this evening is talking about fucking two comedians who are not funny.
Name
but
them.
First, let me just go to my message.
But first, yeah, you like this. You are teasing out the lead story. You do have a broadcaster in you with that aspect of teasing the lead.
Board and read a couple messages I got from Twitter. Okay, so this is from a guy in Columbus I've never met. Maybe we could start by talking on the phone. I didn't respond. I was probably sleeping at this point. You were interesting but weird. Not too many can make me laugh. You are a sweet and beautiful
weird.
girl.
Oh man, this stand-up has a boner as he talked to an actual real-life lady who didn't just avoid him after his set.
And you have a cute little one. I'm a little high, so I thought I would get a little real with your ass. I had sex tonight and didn't shower. My dick stinks. What?
Her goth storyline. Yeah, I see it.
What do I do with that? What? I don't even have a response for that. Wait, what? I had sex tonight and didn't shower. My dick stinks. Is that like supposed to turn me like I'm confused?
You said the loud part. You said the quiet part very loudly with your dick stinks. You don't type that in. My dick stinks isn't like my pussy's wet. My dick stinks means I skipped a shower. Or maybe he did the squeegee move where he came all over himself and just wiped it on down. And now it's a very ripe smelling pekka.
I cannot. I had a 26-year-old say, hey, do you want me to come over and give you a massage? First of all, you're 26. No, I do not. You don't even get good at sex until you're 30. So, what?
Okay, I can't argue with her there. With my personal experience, yeah, 30.
Your frontal
where I
lobe
started
isn't
doing
even developed.
Good sex.
I'm good, thanks. So, I had two men send me videos of them jerking off, masturbating at like 7 a.m.
we have sex talk versus mummy milkers. And yeah, I am competing with bare titties. Hopefully YouTube does not mistake those man titties for titties. Because they have done that before of mistaking large man boobies for actual lady boobies and taking the video offline immediately.
I can't. If I want to see your dick, I will literally let you know. I promise. Promise. I will let you know. Hey, this is...
We should have shilled before 11 a.m. or 12 noon, rather, when more people were here. So we could have told all of them to hit the like button before they went over to see
Cassy,
some man
show
boobies.
Me a picture of your fucking dick. Thank you. I want to ride it. Right. I'm pretty direct, so...
That looks more like beer.
We all know I haven't had sex since...
Did that have head to it? I know she's got some head to her.
Vietnam, we know. So when I do get laid, I'll let you all know. It hasn't happened yet. So very long time for me. I had another guy send me a message from Columbus who I haven't talked to in 15 years. He's like, Cassy, do you want to have sex with me if you ever come back to Ohio? I didn't respond because my life is crazy. He was like, fuck you then. He defriended me. It was like 10 minutes.
No, dummy. You want to at least keep that open. She wasn't available this time, but she might come back. You silly, silly fool.
I cannot. Being a parent is really hard. Being a single parent is double hard. There is only 24 hours in the day.
Being a single parent in a gangbang is 5 times as hard.
I am not Jesus Christ. I cannot walk on water. I cannot do everything at the same time. Oh my God, my rant tonight is about fucking two comedians who were not funny. The first one I met in...
Yay! Please be someone. Oh, is she saying Cleveland right now? It has been stiff competition in the mornings recently, Isaac Walmart. I chose this time specifically because no one is on, and there are some other people bleeding into my territory. I'm gonna piss all over this time. It's mine.
Tonight is about fucking two comedians who were not funny. The first one I met in Columbus at the Funny Bone. Thank God I didn't see a set. He walked.
That has definitely taken my boner to flaccid when I saw a lady comedian who I was into perform a set, and oh no, this is who you are on stage. Oh,
Up to me, he's like, "Are you Italian?" Yes, I am, because he was too. Do you want to come party with me back at my place? I was like, okay. I don't know. I was young, like 22, 24. I go back to his place. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, he can make a living off of comedy. Garage door goes up. He's like, shh, my mom is sleeping.
that's more accurate, and that is why in Los Angeles I preferred going after acting rather than stand-up comedy, because stand-up comedy don't pay. At least when you go and be a background actor, they pay you minimum wage per day when you're just some schlub off the street, and you do get a full day's pay, and they feed you.
What? So it's fine to live with your parents if you're taking care of them, because then I applaud you. He was not. So he was crashing at his mom's place. So not a good sign.
Oh, crashing? So possibly he was just there while he was in the area because he's touring. He lives there. You're using crashing in a different context than I would, Cassie.
I had sex with him one time. He was cracking jokes. Not funny. I remember looking up at the ceiling thinking, God, can somebody just tell him he's not funny? Someone needs to. His mother must have not, but whatever.
Is Ray's mother in Columbus, Ohio? Because there are some indicators that this does sound like she hooked up with Ray DeVito. And Ray DeVito can count on, what, one hand? Two hands? I need to break out some toes, and I need someone else's hand in order to get there. Yeah, not
So I wonder whatever happened to him, but God bless him. Not a funny comedian. Then I met one here in Chicago. Still not funny. Just because you're in the third largest city doesn't mean you're funny. Right. However, he was a friend of a friend. We go to a party, we're drinking. I ended up sitting on his penis. How did that happen?
This whisper gimmick, it's kind of like the Jim Gaffigan bit when he does his high voice as if he was an audience member. And I'm doing that too high-pitched Eric-y to be accurate.
I'm assuming alcohol is how it happens. So I was a cocktail waitress at the Elbow Room, and he was cute, and he seemed nice enough.
Oh, so she worked at the comedy club. So really only two? I figured your roster would probably be higher of comedians if you were cocktail waitressing there.
I mean, he was nice enough. He wasn't a fucking asshole. I was like, oh, he's cute. Maybe he has potential. He's from Ohio. I think he was from Youngstown. Oh, God.
Well, he was nice. It wasn't that guy down in Tampa.
We ended up banging for like 8 months, but we didn't like each other at all. It was like literally robotic. Can I come sit on your penis? Sure. Okay. And then like he tried to have like a date night one night. We hated. We didn't like each other. So
we had it right in the first place. We should bang and not talk. Let's never do this date thing again.
I did see his comedy act. So bad. So it was like you could hear a pin drop. Nobody was laughing. God, what a horrible feeling. So how do people do it? I don't know. Like, how do you keep getting back up there when you're 40 when no one's laughing?
50.
I don't know.
50-year-olds doing that now. And I'm still holding on to my mid-30s. I'm not going to call myself late 30s for at least another year. And when I do it, it's just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, so
I suppose I should do it to plug my show to the locals. I am growing very incrementally, very small at a time, and going out there and doing some verbal papering. That helped. I got a nice bump from that initially when I started doing this channel of the verbal papering.
But these two are something else. Happy Saturday, Chicago. I love you. God, I'm sorry if my voice is like, I've not slept. I'm exhausted. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Cassie. I did one more Cassie video. This one is entitled, Don't Be a Fucking Cunt. I did not ask for your opinion. What are you talking about? It sounds like she got in front of me years ahead of time to say, why are you reacting to me in this fashion? I think I've been mostly supportive, haven't I, Cassie? Oh, it's only 240p is the maximum. Seems like you're a good 480p. That's very nice.
Happy Saturday, Chicago.
40p.
Cheers. So,
Coors Light can? That looked like a Coors Light can to me.
Sorry that I missed you guys for a week. Easter was here. And because I work in mental health, that means I have no vacation days.
She works in mental health. I think some of those patients might have airborne. It might have airborne mental illness that you got a hold of. And then again, there is just the people who you are around wearing off on you. There is,
right.
But she does have new hair with pink and blonde all throughout it. It is very much an alarm for guys. Mental illness. Oh, I don't think I pulled that TikTok. It's a sexy little lady that says
or
that.
Sick days or any kind of days to our benefit. So gotta love social work. Cheers on that note. Anyway, my rant for this Saturday night is don't be a fucking cunt. Spring is in the air and people are just filled with fucking opinions.
Actually, fall is vastly approaching.
Opinions, aren't they? So opinions that I don't ask for, nor do other people, but people love to just share their opinions. Opinions are just fucking flying around right now, aren't they? So.
Opinions are like assholes. You fuck them in it twice. Actually, she said 3 times, didn't she? That first butt fucking video was indeed about butt fucking. That second was not.
One example that I can think of is a girl at work. She got her hair cut. It looked really cute. She's just walking down the fucking hallway, right? Some guy walks up to her and he's like, I liked your hair better long.
The lip smack has been strong in this last video. Yeah, there's been, we are a minute in, and there's been at least 3, right? A lot of lip smacking in this one. She was doing better in the previous videos with the lip smacking. Maybe she'll talk in a whisper again.
I would have been like, well, I liked you better when you were 30 pounds lighter. So since you're giving me your opinion, I'm going to give you mine. Right. So
raccoon eyes don't look as bad on this one. Before it looked like just a straight thick line of makeup. It does look like she did pat it down a little bit.
This poor girl ran down the hallway. She probably cried in the
very raccoony
bathroom, and he probably ruined her day. So
you are looking like Eric Cartman in his superhero costume right now.
Oh, careful with those opinions that nobody asked you for. Right. One of the nurses at my work, she was like, I liked your hair better all blonde. Well, I liked you better when you weren't a fucking cunt, so.
Very much like mom and grandmother being like, you used to be so pretty. Oh, you're probably right, Dayla. The filter makeup. I love seeing those on TikTok lives where, yeah, they will get a glass of water and then their lipstick is on the other side of the glass. And it's like, oh, that's not even real.
Since we're sharing opinions. You're going to share your opinion with me. I'll share mine with you. So careful, I might make you cry. So not a great way to start the day, is it? Right. So I don't know who people think they are sometimes. I had another person at work. They didn't even say good morning to me. They were like, do you know you have a hole in your shoe?
If it were me, the answer would probably be yes. I'm putting off buying a new pair, I guess, until it rains and these become untenable.
Do you know you have a hole in your top every single day because you wear see-through tops? So, okay. Glad we took care of that this morning right away. So, the same person was like, your highlights are fading. Well, no shit. Does it look like I have fucking MR? Is my IQ under 50? I'm not mentally.
And what stinks, if you are going to get those, is they fade very quick. You cannot wash your hair. And I, in general, very much like, oh, who was the other long-haired fella I was talking to? Wash your hair every other day. But even then, that's going to come out pretty quickly.
Mentally retarded highlights fade, right? So thank you for pointing that out, even though I didn't ask you for your fucking opinion. So, right. If somebody doesn't ask you, probably don't give it to them. So, just a little tip. Right. So.
Mr. 8-incher had much more than the tip.
There's that. There's that. The other thing that I can't fucking stand is when people try to give you advice and they've never been through the experience. Like, for instance, Cassie, I'm so sorry about those student loans that are 6 figures. That must be so hard. What the fuck do you know about student loans?
Yay, I didn't get in on that pyramid scheme. That was something that our entire generation was told, get into college, that's the future, don't learn a trade skill. And now look at us all these years later of why don't we have enough people who know trade skills? Because you were actively the older people who we thought had our interests at heart told us don't get in there, get into a college with these very inflated tuitions that we put in place recently so we make money instead of giving you an education for a reasonable amount of money.
And you're 30 years old and you live with your mom and dad and they still pay your phone bills. So please stop talking to me. Right. So, or these people that are like embryos, they were born like, I don't know, 3 days ago. They're like 21 years old giving you life advice.
You don't know how math works, Casey.
What are you talking about? You've been alive for literally 7 days. So maybe in 15 years, I'll value your opinion. So, and also you
figuratively
don't even pay any of your own bills. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Been alive for figuratively a week.
Must be so hard to pay health insurance. What the fuck do you know about paying anything? Mommy and daddy are still paying your rent. Please don't talk to me. So hate when that happens. Right. So that is my rant for this Saturday. Do not give advice. Don't walk up to a random person and give them fucking advice because chances are they don't want your advice or they would have asked you. You'll probably ruin their day anyway. Or careful because they'll give you advice back, kind of like, hey, I like this better. And you can be like, well, I liked you better when your dick was bigger or when your dick actually got hard. Right. Things like that. So careful.
Now, you do get shorter in time. I have not heard of this phenomenon of losing inches off your dick over time, because gravity pushes down on you, and like legit, you're a little bit taller at the beginning of the day than you are at the end of the day, because gravity is just fucking crushing you down to the earth. But this losing inches off your dick, other than being flaccid, this one is a new one to me.
Careful with those opinions flying around.
Receding inches. Oh no. I have to look into this immediately to make sure I take precautionary measures as soon as possible to stay away from these receding inches that Cassie has just informed me of.
Kinley, if you haven't been through the experience or something similar, don't try to be an expert and give somebody advice when you know nothing about the fucking topic. So if you've never paid bills in your life, don't give someone advice on how to do it. Okay, so happy Saturday. I've missed you guys and I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Great pull, Dayla. Thank you for today's episode recommendation of Cassy Baxter. And she does have a band called Sex Therapy. So I pulled some TikTok clips. This is the Caitlin Cook, who has a one-woman show based on bathroom graffiti. And she gets into that right now, is her song. Dayla would, before we get to Caitlin Cook, Dayla would marry Cassy Baxter right now. I would fuck her. You would marry her. I believe King of all diffs would kill her. So we do have the full spectrum of the audience today. And thank you guys for sticking around once again with some stiff competition over in the Dabbleverse. And now over to a little preview of Caitlin Cook's one-woman musical stage play in New York right now.
I like writing on walls. Fuck you, society. Dan, this is actually a door, not a wall. Regard society. Follow your dreams. I literally only have nightmares. Question everything. Why? Yo, girl, on a scale of 1 to America, how free are you tonight? That's a great line. But underneath it, someone wrote, Germany 1942.
Not free at all. Do not come inside of me. This is not Cassy Baxter. She is much closer to America, judging by all of the people she regrets fucking.
Do you idealize the past or see it as broken? Why? Dude, I'm just trying to take a shit.
Perfect.
The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Now close your legs. The future is in your hands. My dick is the future. Harry Potter taught.
In a way, it is. You can get very philosophical with how your dick is indeed the future, and there could be world leaders just strolling through your urethra right now if only you weren't flushing them down the toilet in a public bathroom.
Best anything that nobody deserves to live in the closet. That's such a sweet thought. but underneath it, someone wrote, "Except R. Kelly."
I bought that first In the Closet album, and he made like 25 parts to that, right? I think it was 5 or 6 parts. And then he was like, well, this is making money. There was a midget in the closet at some point. I don't know if the Isley Brothers kept coming back, but as long as they kept writing checks, why the fuck not?
Holy water, holy shit. Is this as good as ever gonna get? Conversations with strangers that I have never met, and I will never meet in the future. My dick is the future.
One woman show in New York at the Soho Playhouse. Thank you for that piece of musical art. But we do want to also get into the sexual aspect of today's show. So Chief 13 Bravo has a little bit of a review from the best ever from an Asian massage parlor.
Hey, what's up? What's happening? It's a Big Chief. And let me tell you about the time I got a hand job from what I think was a 50-plus-year-old Asian woman at a massage parlor.
As we've mentioned, Asian women look like they're somewhere between 14 to 20 years old until all of a sudden one night, bam, they look old. So yeah, somewhere from 15 to 128 years old, this hand job he got.
Parlor in Colorado Springs. I was a staff sergeant stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado, looking for a little trouble to get into.
It's in Colorado Springs. Hopefully that location is still standing. Is kind of blowing their cover here, if it is.
I swear, man, that off-limits list will get you every single time. Before I get the story rolling, I don't trust anybody in the Army that said they never went to an off-limits establishment. Freaking narcs right there. But back to the matter at hand. I looked on one of the websites that gave...
The ones that have never been there are the ones that'll rat you out for getting a hand job.
Special
don't let them
reviews
bitches
about
in.
Massage parlors. Found me one that looked reasonable. When I got there, I thought I was going to get, a cute little petite Asian lady. Ming Lee must have been off, and I got the grandma. I was like, hey, I already paid my money, and I'm here, so let's make it happen. She had very soft hands. I turned over, and my little soldier was standing at attention, and Granny Lee put in that work. Top 5 handy that I ever got in life.
And very much like a donkey show where you just want to see the young girl, there is going to be a young and an old. We need the old veteran to train the young girl in the way of the donkey show. And here we have a little bit of a transaction going on between some lovers. I did mute out the video because they got a nice song here playing. Yeah, get into it, old man. You've almost paid for it. And she's not really encouraging it much. Let's make sure that money comes out. And then you have access to touching me, sir. See? You can touch me like that once that money comes out of that machine. And do we have time for... Well, why not? Let's get a little smasher pass in with the Little Willow. I am a big fan of the Little Willow, and they have a Star Wars edition of Smasher Pass.
They have a Star Wars option. Smasher Pass was fucking go, but I think we already know. All right.
There is a Darth Maul on her shoulder there.
Daddy, one couldn't know.
A phoenix on her titties.
You're good, but I feel like we can get more
straight in the middle. With young Obi-Wan. Qui-Gon. Where are you putting the Jedis? A lot of Jedis up front.
You get fist. I would in a heartbeat. Oh, God, no. I'm sorry. You're too good for me.
But not putting Luke the most good at the bottom part. Oh, we have a machine. We have the machine Sidious.
With the possibility of a vibrate option.
Dayla is passing on the Little Willow. I smash all day.
Bo-Katan.
Those crazy eyes.
You know what? You're cute.
Are very much more prominent
no matter what.
Than Cassy Baxter's crazy eyes. She's putting the Dildo Arms Man #2, and of course Darth Maul #1. And we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. We got the idea there, Willow. Dayla and I have different preferences, and I don't know about you, but I am a big fan of sexy clowns, such as this one we have not featured before, Oopsie the Clown. Take us out with 2 quick videos, Oopsie the Clown. Coming out of a distant...
The Egyptians believed the most significant thing you could do in your life was die.
Maybe I should have read that before it took over. But we have another quick video from Oopsie the Clown, who has herself a balloon sword.
Your weapon. And now, we fight.
Hopefully that's the only type of sword fight that she is capable of. I did stumble upon a drag queen clown that I did not realize was a male for quite some time. Very well done with that makeup, sir. Cassy is a confirmed freak. That she is, as she tells us in all of her videos, she is definitely fodder to come back again in another couple of weeks. And Joey C. Dabblestorian was asking about, as well as Vinnie Paulino, the next viewer-submitted episode will be the Joey C. episode. Usually I take something edited together. The Vinnie Paulino episode will be put into the viewer-submitted for the following 2 weeks, because I do enjoy the raw footage. I like to mix it up a little bit with some viewer submitted, but those aren't raw footage that I really enjoy the most of deconstructing. And only one more episode this week. Pardon me. It will be Maven, the wrestler, part 2 with his co-host Audition. And then I'm taking a few days off after seeing a concert out of town. Be back next Sunday through Thursday. And maybe I'll debut... No, I don't have the guests booked yet. I've got to confirm some guests who will do some pre-production with me for another show. That's why I believe it'll be October as booking guests. I'm still figuring that part out, but the next show debuting on this channel will have actual other people on it. And thank you guys so much for joining this time. And until next time, go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Places all join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LSMFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right to your honey with the right to left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LSMFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.